Everybody?
I don't know,
Ron.
I wasn't here yesterday morning when it tipped over, so.
Call roll, please.
Garing.
Yes,
Sorry.
Here.
Sean Wall. Here. Jaden.
Here.
Elizabeth Waltner. Here. Charlie Waltner.
Present.
Minutes of the last meeting.
Move to accept.
All those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Vouchers and salaries.
I have just a concern on the Minning one, on the voucher. I think we should hold off on paying that one at this time until we can get a little clarification on some things.
You want to make a partial payment? or you
Yeah,
wanna-
I think I'd be comfortable with, what's owed is $50,339.75. And I think if we would give them 50% of that.
So which one is that? This one here, the 50,339?
Yeah,
Because there's, I don't know if you're here. There's
just need some clarification on some
I would agree.
question.
well, the question I have is, what's left? How much is it gonna cost to finish this project? And I think that's something we need to know because obviously they're not giving us a completed project here.
Right, and that's some of the clarification we need from the engineer.
The issue that I have is we haven't received a bill from Blacktop. And in the passing of the baton, if you will, there were some things, Menning didn't do that Blacktop did and so forth. And until I see Blacktop's bill, see what we're getting charged for, but once you pay this, then you gotta go back at them, and I don't wanna get into that boat, but I would agree, if you wanna go 50%, I mean, cut them a check for 50 for now, and then wait until Blacktop. Chad said this morning, that should be ready by the next meeting.
I think that would more than cover, from what I saw, it should more than
Yeah,
cover what was.
I think we'd be comfortable then.
Yeah, and then got some other questions for Chad too, so, before we pay him the rest. That need some clarification that were brought to our attention, I guess, but they did fix the fire hydrants now, they are to grade, just last week, I think.
And today somebody was there, I think they got the last one.
Okay,
On the
good.
cul-de-sac.
'Cause we had gone out there and they were considerably wrong on some of them.
Yeah.
But good, I'm glad to hear that. But that would be my recommendation on that.
So you approve the vouchers with the exception of 50% on the Menning voucher?
That is correct.
Second.
I don't mean to put words in your mouth. No. Second? Call roll.
Sorry.
Yes.
Sean Wall. Yes. Jaden.
Yes.
Elizabeth Waltner. Yes. Charlie Waltner.
Yes.
Garing.
Yeah.
Financial report. Any questions?
Motion to accept financial report.
Go second?
Second.
Call roll.
Sean Wall. Yes. Jaden.
Yes.
Elizabeth Waltner. Yes. Charlie Waltner.
Yes.
Garing.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yes.
I do not see any guests here as far as public input. First reading of ordinance 2022-5. Is that, do you have that, Blaine?
I do. Yeah.
Is it in the packet? I really looked at the packet.
Does,
Everybody's got it.
okay, everybody did, all right.
This would be the first reading, am I correct?
That'd be correct. And it's just the last section in red, is that right?
Yes.
Oh, I see what you're. So it'd be the first reading of adding that which is in red to the already existing ordinance 4.0202.
And that's fine tuning it, here to take care of any issues at hand, I think.
First reading of 2022-06, refuse rates. Charlie, is that something you want to?
Yeah, we talked it over with Lisa. I'm working on what we charge for a fuel surcharge. But we talked to Mike, it's gonna have to be changed in our ordinance for our refuse rates. So he added on the bottom, the last paragraph, or in red again, basically allowing us to make a change or add in the future by resolution rather than by ordinance to do a change in those rates, rather than have to make it an ordinance, which will make us be able to move a little faster. It takes time, so this will be first reading, second reading will be next meeting, Monday. So we should be able to actually implement a surcharge on the billing for September, correct, Lisa?
Yes.
In the meantime, we'll try to fine tune what we're looking for a surcharge. I've already started on that, and I've kind of done a preliminary draft, and I'll get to you to note for Charlie. But this at least allows us to move forward, and then in the future, make it a little easier for us to change rate.
Move a little quicker.
Yep, and not have to be tied so tight to everything. So I think it'll be better in the long run.
Any questions? What, while we're doing that?
Should actually do water and sewer too.
Yeah, I thought we were, but I see this as just, we should do them all, that way we can get it.
We can always, I mean, we can add them in.
Yeah, I mean, it's no big
We
deal.
need to,
That-
we need to let Fink.
Makes it a lot easier.
Yeah, the refuse at this point is the one that's kind of critical on timing right now.
Because of fuel. Animal Control Services Agreement. Jay, do you know?
Got questions?
Was there an agreement that we talked about this last meeting?
You guys got a copy of it?
Yeah, we sure do.
But it wasn't on the agenda, so we couldn't act on it.
Oh, that's.
And with doing
okay.
this, like, what does that
Thank you.
allow us
So
to
the
do that we're not be able
purpose
to
of
do
this
now?
is So like, we find ourselves in a situation again in the future where
On the
we
podium.
find ourselves
Since
again
people
in a
can't hear.
situation like we did with these pit bulls.
Uh-huh.
It provides a humane option for the animals, because otherwise we'd still have them up there at that facility, taking care of them ourselves. On a day like today, those dogs would be dead.
Uh-huh.
So this puts us on a contract with the Humane Society, so when those situations come up, they just will automatically take the animals.
Essentially, there's not a charge for signing on, essentially, it's just as if they take the dogs, then it's as, it's.
That, I don't know the specifics on that, if it's like a
'Cause I remember from
yearly
last-
fee or
from-
what.
With Scott, with police chief, there is not a monthly or a yearly fee and so forth. The reason we're talking about this again is because we didn't get it on the agenda for last,
Oh, okay.
so we could not pass a resolution if we so desire to accept this. So it's shined on to this meeting.
Sure.
It's the same thing as what we discussed last meeting and so forth.
So,
Forgive me, I forgot about it.
yeah, so the charges essentially would be is if
Is
we're, if they're.
per use.
Mhm.
Per
Yeah,
use.
yeah. Yeah, I think it's,
And we have to get them up there, though.
No, I believe they'll come
They'll
get
come
them.
get
yeah, there's.
Yeah, that's
That's
part of the
Says in
deal.
there,
Current
right? Mileage at the IRS rate.
Mileage rate, yeah. Which then essentially,
Could get put
You
back
pass.
to people.
right,
We know that doesn't always.
I understand, yeah, but
This is
perfect world, that would get passed.
same as the county. This county belongs to this, if I'm not mistaken.
I think so.
Mhm.
That's what I was told, yeah.
Yep.
So I'm looking for a motion if you want to accept this.
I'd make a motion to accept the animal control service and impound facility operation agreement.
Second.
Second.
Jaden,
Yes.
Elizabeth Weltner? Yes. Charlie Weltner?
Yes.
Gehring?
Yeah.
Sorry,
Yes.
Showalter?
Yes.
Golf course personnel, Margaret Atkins, she came back, she worked last year, she's excellent. Timing's good, it's clubhouse.
Kids are going back to school.
Yeah, the kids are going back to school, it's very timely that she came back, help run the clubhouse.
Are they gonna need more help with the kids back to school?
Not out there, not with Maggie.
I moved to hire her at, or
Is this
Whatever-
$12 an hour.
$12, yep.
Okay.
Standard.
Did I have a second?
I'm,
Sure.
Okay. Elizabeth Weltner? Yes. Charlie Weltner?
Yes.
Gehring?
Yeah.
Sorry,
Yes.
Showalter?
Yes.
Jaden?
Yes.
Budget review, we met, when was it, last Thursday?
Yep.
Who was it, Tab, Lonnie, Blaine, and myself, looked at the budget and so forth. And I believe since then, Mrs. Edelman has groomed it up a little bit more, did you
No,
change
that's
it?
what we came up with
That's
that
what we
night.
came up with, and you
Yep.
didn't, okay. So the timing on this would be, you take it home with you, particularly what you're in charge of, check those, look it over. August 16th, would it be?
Yep,
We will have first reading, and then whatever the first meeting in September, we would have second reading.
And if you want to change it, you're going to have to come up with some other place to offset it.
thank you.
have to rob Paul.
Unless you're saving us money so we don't have to take 45,000 out of cash reserves.
Yeah. Have to basically rob Paul for Peter.
Mhm.
I thought it went pretty good.
Yeah.
Main Street, Dewey, anything to report?
Nope, they got, should be done with railway this week, and them guys will be gone. Sidewalk guys will be here Monday, 'cause they can't get concrete right now.
Is that
What
that
the
stuff,
short-
that aggregate?
Yeah, like, if you want, I can explain that now, if you want. Or should we, because you got down cities, or that's City Hall.
That's
right?
City Hall sidewalk.
Yeah, this is not the actual product, but it's a sample of it. Weidenbach will be getting it in, and let's put it here. They'll be getting a different source in, so it could have more color, it could have less color, but this is.
It'll look like that.
It'll similar. And it is mixed within, you take out the granite essentially, and you put this in place of the granite, okay? So it's throughout the concrete.
It's not granted in any of that they pour.
No, it's not in that band there, yeah. So that was some of the concern with the guy pouring it. But Paul from Sarah, he had checked with, I don't know, he said multiple contractors that do this and have no issue with it. They have, and DOT, yep, they have no issue with it. Sometime you can get one that'll pop out, kind of like a chip in the concrete.
I've seen that.
It's
Let
not,
me interject here, Blaine, he had two samples.
yes,
One was a bigger stone,
right,
which, if there'd be a pop out there, you'd probably notice it.
correct.
And-
And it would make a big,
And we thought the smaller stone would be,
And Paul said too, this is what they use. And I guess I was kind of happy that it was throughout the concrete. I figured they'd put it on top and stamp it in, so to speak, and then take the acid wash and wash it off and brush it, and that's what you got. But this is throughout, and then they wash it off on the top. So it will be just that, essentially they're irregular, so just parts of it will be showing. Most of it'll be, obviously the concrete with the color showing through it. So it's in a it's not in a area where it's gonna see a lot of, either foot traffic or any other type of machinery on it.
How much is it gonna take ice melt?
We asked that question, and the people that are using it have no issues with it. It's concrete.
I
It's
know, but
concrete.
Every little aggregate that you have open and you have ice melt on it and salt in there, it's just more for it to get in and breathe.
Yeah, well, Paul went through it, and like I say, he did his due diligence to calling around and checking with others, and I guess we've been through this, that this is kind of the path that we're taking it, and someone mentioned a sample. He didn't have a sample because we don't have the actual rock that we're using, but if they're gonna be doing it, he can pour off some, and we can go see it as they're pouring, or pour off some before they actually pour it, because they didn't have a form to pour it in and show us a sample, I guess. Al's Concrete or something like that? Okay, Big Al, something like that. That's again, he's been doing it for years and years and years, I guess, but I guess that's kind of the direction that we've always been wanting to go. This is on the edge of the curb, and then, is it 2 foot?
I don't know how far this is, but it goes from the curb.
From the curb, so what it is the indication that there's an elevation adjustment
That's
there.
the whole angle part, right?
So then we talk, okay, so what if you use colored concrete? It fades. Stained concrete, he absolutely would not suggest doing that.
Yeah, it takes maintenance too, because it fades and stains out.
Yeah, this product here is kind of giving us, I guess, the board that got together, the look that we were looking for. And I should mention, Charlie, your ice melt and stuff, because Rochester, Minnesota, they use this all over the place up there, So I actually did look when I was up there to see how it was wearing, and, from shoveling and, whatever. And it actually, to me, I don't know how old it was, but to me, as a, just a individual.
How, it's from the curb, and you're talking 2 foot?
I'm not 100% sure, and I'm sorry. that
How much?
I think it's
The whole angle part, so the angle part going up to where the sidewalk turns flat.
Yeah.
That would be that.
Do you know, Dewey?
3
Say
foot.
not less
3
than
foot.
2,
3
is
foot.
it 3? I was gonna say
3
not
foot.
less than 2 and not more than 3, is
Yeah.
what I recall.
How's it gonna
And
shovel?
it doesn't get slippery with packed
Nope.
wet snow
And
out there?
that was a question too that we asked too, so
How does the shovel go on top of it?
rock.
It doesn't like chip seal on the street, it shovels like crap.
Well, that's, chip seal, we wouldn't want to use that, obviously, but,
No, but it's a rough surface, that's what I'm saying, and I know I have a sidewalk that's got that kind of, well, it's not that, but beaded stuff there, and you can't shovel that very good.
yeah. Well, the main sidewalk, obviously, in front of the businesses will be your normal concrete that'll get snow blowed or however they choose to do it. And then another thing too.
That'll get snow blow too.
Yeah,
That'll
yeah,
get skid loader and everything else on it.
yeah. Like I say, we asked the questions to Paul, and he did ask around to other contractors, and it's used. I can't tell you, for sure what how long it'll last, or if it'll be better or worse than concrete. I'm just going by what.
Is this also included in the bump out area, or is?
I thought so, I thought it followed.
Yeah, it would be, the only question, Mr. Ganning, that I would have is in front of Mr. G's, if they're gonna continue it in front of Mr.
I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
In front of Mr. G's.
On the apron coming out.
The
Well, I
ramp,
wouldn't think they
that would
would
be
do
the
No,
only place.
no, I wouldn't think so either. I wouldn't think so.
I haven't talked to Cole, but it does go on the bump outs, it'll follow the,
Well, that's gonna be the most wear and tear.
the bump out.
Leg
will
goes
probably
over.
be,
Yeah, not just the
Not
skid
just
loader, it's gonna be
Yeah, Not just the hand
payloader.
walk behind snow blower.
No, it's gonna be the payloader.
And then just move on a little bit, where the, I think it was 4th Street, on the extensions there, they will be 8-inch concrete. They were spec'd at 7. I think you talked to Paul about that, or Cole.
Cole.
About moving snow, that since it is a 0 grade, that that you'll be able to just go right on through. So we did ask him to bump that up to 8-inch concrete instead, so it'll take that better. And the cost will be, it won't be that much more there for that. So it was a good meeting. It was a real good meeting. On schedule or ahead of schedule.
I've received here, I'm not sure, but it was brought up at the meeting, and another email here. There is a concrete shortage. And I'm not sure if it's concrete or if it's BNSF going on strike and so forth. Materials, and they're allocating and so forth. It has not affected us yet.
From the rail, because of the railway, right?
Well, BNSF, I think they put a 30-day, what I've read, is
60
it's a
day.
30-day extension on it.
60 days they did.
Is it 60 now?
September.
So, nobody's, what we would look at is probably an extended finish date. If we can't get, we have them locked in at that and so forth. And I guess my biggest feeling is, I don't want any more ripped up. They start pouring on, from Railway North. That's all good and well, but I want to guarantee before we go side streets, I don't want that tore up and then we're out of, what I got from the gentleman from Reed was, we should be okay to finish the main shot at Railway. It was in fall where they were gonna get concerned, and so then nothing may happen either, but that would be the only hang-up. But otherwise, it's been, the communication with the SARS and the business people has been excellent. Very good.
Yeah, very good, yeah. They're doing an excellent job. Excellent job.
Another thing on Main Street, what do you guys just want to forgo? Out in front here, you you tear out the shrubs and stuff?
What was that?
What was it?
$6,000.
Yeah.
It was under 5.
6,000.
There's a
5.
concrete shortage, we probably shouldn't.
Just yes or no, and we'll leave it for
I
tomorrow.
would do it.
I would do it too.
I would do it too. We're gonna have to pour sidewalk
We
anyway.
just pull the bushes out and put like some of the tall grasses
Cement?
or
Pull them out and
something.
put cement there?
No.
Yeah, the rocks do look kind of rough.
Yeah, on that too, the Main Street, when they're coming off on the side roads, Jeff Beekler had asked me about Port Trust, where the curb is, and they got that much grass, and then the sidewalk. They'd be willing to pay for that, but they were wondering if that could be all cement. Sorry, but you're gonna get rid of the grass, but they'd like to get rid of.
Sidewalk and no boulevard.
Right, no,
I don't blame
no,
them.
no little boulevard there. There's gonna be some sprinkler stuff, but they will, you said that they would take
We
that.
just basically move the side, we weren't gonna put sidewalk there, we're just gonna put curb there, but yeah, if they're willing to pay for it, I'd
Yeah.
absolutely let
Just
them do
mind
it.
Okay,
your
so
sidewalk.
he should just contact Cole and go with that.
Both sides, I think.
Yep. Yeah.
No, that'd be one, that'd
Okay.
be fine. Sides,
So I will tell him that.
boulevards are really hard to maintain, those little strips of
Yeah,
grass.
yeah. Well, and the water just runs down the road
It's
most
hard
of the
to
time
walk.
anyhow,
Yeah,
so
and then you mow
that'll
it.
save water.
Anything else, Dewey?
Nope.
So did you decide on this?
I didn't hear a
I make a
motion.
motion that we replace these shrubs with concrete and go up at least to the flagpole, so you have that all in one nice area, so you can go.
There's a motion.
That's my motion.
all the way to the flagpole.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we can get to the flagpole, you don't have a little piece of junk in between.
Yeah.
Second.
It's how much money? What
Well,
was it?
he said $5,000 to the end of the building.
We may have to add a little bit.
Another foot's not gonna.
I'm just clarifying.
I know.
We're not gonna be busting the bank too bad on that one. That's my
get a
motion.
second?
I did.
Someone second, we can
You
vote.
did or didn't?
I did.
Then call the roll, please.
Charlie Weltner,
Yes.
Gehring,
No,
sorry,
Yes.
Sean Wald,
No.
Jaden,
Yes.
Elizabeth Weltner.
There you go, you could even make it a tie.
I'm gonna say yes. Motion carries.
He's not
Passed.
voted yet. In 3 years, you could have got him.
He's just been skating by.
I was waiting though, I kinda
You
thought.
thought you had a chance.
I did hear back from Paul Korn about the ribbon of aggregate. On average, it's 3.5 feet. And that's in addition, there's always 6 foot of ADA sidewalk maintained in front of storefronts.
Was Dewey done?
What?
Was Dewey done?
Huh?
Was Dewey done? We kind of interrupted.
Yeah, no, I asked him, he said yes.
Okay.
That's how he's used of it. Mr. Jaden, do you have anything else?
No.
Mr. Gehring?
yeah, going back to the West End addition there, I guess I'd like at some point to see a summary of what's it gonna cost to finish this.
Yeah, no, that's very good. I don't know where we're gonna end up. We've kind of, we've spent less, the phase one came in, was gonna come in, I don't know where we're at.
Yeah, I guess it'll, and I don't have the numbers either, Charlie, but I think what you're, and that's kind of a question too, because there is some things in question that maybe should have been included that weren't maybe on the bid
Well-
schedule, and I'll show you this.
Well, obviously, it doesn't match the drawing, so,
That's our question, okay? But I think, how would you would need someone to come in and actually look over, survey it,
well, before we spend any more money on it, I wanna know how much more is it gonna take to finish.
finish it, yeah.
Yeah, when are we ready to say these lots can be sold as ready to build?
We're gonna have to sit down with Kelly and see where he's at.
He
I
needs
saw
more
him
dirt.
today, I did not have time
I
to
just-
visit
I
with
just-
him.
Went out there yesterday or the day before. Definitely needs more dirt. All that dirt that they hauled out there, gone. I wish they would've
And he
hauled
hauls.
it all out there. I guess, I don't know why we were on the ball on that one.
Well, I mean, and this is part of it, because that's an extreme cost overrun over what we were told and our expectations of what this would cost, and what it would entail, and what it would look like in the end, so.
So are you on the understanding too, looking at the drawing of what was bid to what actually got done isn't correct?
Well, that's the question, what actually got bid, because when he was here that day, he tried to tell us that, oh yeah, the drawing's this and this, but that's not what you're getting.
Mm-hmm.
But nobody's showed me what we're actually getting.
Yeah,
So,
I
There's a problem.
totally understand.
And we need an answer as to how much more is this gonna take? What's it gonna take to finish it?
Yeah, we're gonna have.
Because we need some help with this. This can't be just a city of Freeman deal. We need some help from the other partners in this little escapade too.
Yeah, the overrun is gonna be with the grading blacktop, or the black soil, it just continues to go.
Because, if Kelly's working on the north side, that takes care of lots 9 and 10,
Yep.
maybe.
Yeah, there's.
But the south side also needs 3 foot of fill
Yep.
on them 3 lots there on the
I don't
west
think you
end.
need 3 foot of fill there.
And there is.
Yes, it does. Look,
You need not 3
look
foot.
at it, Mike,
On the south side?
on the south side.
It depends there's gonna have to be some decisions made. We're gonna have to go out there, and there's gonna have to be some decisions made on, because where is the middle of that property? In other words, from the curb, how far in do you go to find the middle of that property? Because the back half drains to the back, front to the front. You go 50 foot, it makes a huge difference.
Well,
on that.
irregardless, we need a concrete estimation of how much more is this gonna take?
Another thing was the tree removal too, was in question too of, how many trees are being removed, I personally wouldn't want them all removed. I mean, that's a,
But Blaine, as you saw,
yeah,
we got charged for that, and none of that occurred with them, which is going to, so basically, what we're trying to deal with, I think I can help you a little bit here, is that phase one bid was at 500 and I don't know what. And so
about 60.
what we're paying Menning is gonna be probably gonna end up $60,000-$70,000 less than that, okay? So that's kind of what we're using right now to get the
10, 9.
elevation.
Yep, 10 and 9, and then.
As close as
and then
we
trees
can.
out of there.
Trees.
And that's, but who would we get that pricing from, what you're looking for, Charlie? Help me out here. Would
Well,
Stockwell? or-
we put out a contract price for $506,000. And then we put out another contract to curb and gutter and pave it for what,
90s.
317.
$317.
Sorry, yeah.
And we have an unknown amount of work left to make it saleable. This is a problem, because I was led to believe, I don't know about anybody else here, but I was led to believe this was a complete project,
What,
and it obviously isn't.
what are we paying Menning though? What are we gonna cut a check from Menning for? That's what we do, that's what we're trying to get to see how much money we're gonna have left in that original bid of 506, what was it, whatever that 500 was.
I think he's saying when it was a complete project, he's talking all 18 lots.
Yeah, the elevation and everything, the grade, and I'll be the first to admit, I don't know how to read them plans at all, at all. So I'm just under, I assume that too though, Charlie. By the way it was presented.
I don't understand why they didn't build them streets 2 foot lower.
Bingo.
I have no idea why.
That's what I'd like to know, too.
That'd have cleared all our problems.
Yep, it would have.
I went out there.
And it's not like they couldn't do it. It's the highest point in Freeman, South Dakota.
I know, because it goes up, and I know.
The west end of that is 6 foot higher than the original grade,
Yeah,
which was level all the way across there.
and now we're filling.
And look at the cul-de-sac.
I'm just talking about going straight west, not the cul-de-sac.
So I think we need to get Stockwell
even
back
higher.
here and ask the questions to him, because
Yeah, we don't know.
we don't know, and he's the one that made it go that way, and why?
Well, again.
None of us had that theory that we were gonna build that up. We assumed that was gonna be,
Cut down.
or the basic grade built, would be higher by 3 foot.
I favored that site because it was very buildable the way it was. It only needed minor dirt work to make it work the way it was. And here we are,
Because it drains both ways.
It drains both ways.
Now it's all draining
Now
back
it's
this
just-
way,
and now it's all coming east, and it's all gonna have to go through the pipes
which,
to go north,
which are a
which is
problem
the
already.
which is a congested area anyway.
So can we have him come in?
Unfortunately, this is what we're.
We should have him come here and go out to the site, and he can show us.
Mhm.
We need to know how much, to be responsible for the taxpayer's dollar, we need to know how much more this is gonna cost. Because in my mind, that's just my opinion, but in my mind, it shouldn't cost any more than that $506,000 and that 317.
I'd agree with you, that's how I thought it was too. Because we always talked
I
about
don't know
these
where it went
turnkey
south,
lots.
I really don't.
Do you know where Kelly's at, Blaine?
Pardon me?
Do you know where Kelly's at?
He thought, was it around 19? Probably 15 to 19, where he's at right now.
But when he's done, we're gonna have 2 lots to build on, out of the 18.
Let's see here, was this one that he highlighted? know if I got that. There was more than that. I mean, there's about seven lots that need help.
No, we need to identify them so we know what we're looking
Yeah.
at.
And he
4
did,
and
but
5
I
are
can't.
gonna be problematic unless you wanna
I
go
don't
for a
have that.
walkout.
I guess I don't have that.
You could have a walkout, and even then it would make Dixon.
That might have been on his,
Pardon?
I think he must have taken that one, because he
I think
had
that was
it,
on
and it
his
was-
bid, yeah.
Did it look like 7 or 8, roughly? I think it was a fair number of them. Some needing more than others. But the trees were the big thing, because on this plan here, it shows that the trees to be taken out all the way to the red dotted line. And that is grading limits per the contractor, or the
And
surveyor.
again, what I'm
surveyor came in
saying
and-
is the drawing does not match what we
Yeah.
have.
Here is
What
where,
they left us with.
here is where the trees have been taken out, and he's done a lot of that in this part, the yellow line, I don't know if you can see that or not.
But Menning charges for all of it.
He should have put it in the bid, is what the.
It was in the bid. It is in the bid and it's been paid for.
Yeah,
But he
but-
didn't do it.
But he didn't do it.
So then he needs to come
The
back.
last payment, am I correct?
Only the first
Freeman.
payment, it was paid back
It's
last
paid, but
fall.
was never done.
Right,
is
Yeah,
what
so
I'm
what-
saying.
that's
What
my
was that
question.
What was that line item?
clearing,
Well, I mean, how much was it?
$5,000, and, yeah, you know how long,
I mean, and it
$5,000 when-
specifically says in there, clearing is of trees and roots, and, I mean, it spells it
Well-
out in
Well,
there.
if he bid it for $5,000, why don't he move his equipment back and do it?
Well, see, he only went to here when it should have,
You ain't gonna clean that out for $5,000.
no, you're 100.
That's his
you're
bid, he
100
can come
plus,
back and do it.
you know.
No, that was what was spec.
These are the questions that we need to ask, you need to ask them.
I mean, he's gonna say, keep your $5,000, but we don't want it. We want it done.
Mhm. Well, I guess that was kind of the question in hand is it was bid, so we need someone to help us with,
I'm getting the
Kelly
feeling-
has.
I'm getting the feeling we should amend that motion to pay any of it, of that 50,000. Get his attention, get him down here.
I mean, I don't know how you do that.
Now you can just do it like that,
Yeah.
can't he?
So,
I mean,
Do we send it or do we need to make a new one?
you could probably.
it's a lot better to have $50,000 in your hand than 25.
Darn right it is.
Well, these were brought to our attention today. And Kelly doing the work out there, he's the one that brought it to our attention, that it did not match what.
I don't see why I don't see why I can't make a motion to withhold all funds from Manning until
So I
it's
got a
explained to
question
us.
for you, Blaine.
Yeah, could get,
The key that's out there that Kelly put in, that Mennings were supposed to.
that hammerhead, they call it, yes.
Whatever we turn around.
Yep, he has $1,900 on that, and then there was another thing where, and we talked about that, where Blacktop actually had to take the maintainer and turn the soil and repack it because it was not of their quality grade compaction.
Pretty much same thing they did on Main Street.
Sure.
Pass.
It happens, yeah, it happens, no, but.
Ripped it all up with other guys.
But that is another pending bill probably from Blacktop, because Menning didn't do that. And I'm not here bashing Menning or Stockwell or anybody, but.
No, nobody is. We want answers.
There's a lot
We're
of questions.
not gonna get answers when they get the check.
Exactly, there's a lot of questions, and that's why
All I
that
want,
motion.
all I want is my money's worth.
Mhm.
That's
Well,
it.
I think need someone that really knows contracts and read this thing and see what was done and what wasn't done by his bid. And I think that would pretty much say it loud and clear, because he bid per Stockwell's specs. And if it isn't done that way, then that would be our foot to
Well,
stand
isn't
on.
that Stockwell's
Right.
job to make sure that Manning's doing his job? No different than Sayers watching our
Yeah.
Main Street?
Well, I was told there's different levels of engineering that you could hire at. So what we hired for Main Street was somebody on site to be watching, to making
Right.
sure everything's
Right.
done.
We paid $300,000.
I don't know what you hired Stockwell to do. I have not been able to find the contract at this point. So I don't know if you,
I don't think we hired for an engineer on site.
No, we didn't, no.
But
But
They
a
still-
visit here.
But it's no, it's no,
That should-
it's no different than building a building and going through a punch list. You don't write the last check until you're satisfied. We're the customer. And we already can identify with being idiots ourselves where they screwed up.
Mhm. Agreed. I agree. You know, and we're just, like
Not
Charlie
arguing.
said, we're looking out for the taxpayers' money here.
Just trying to figure a dollar amount, we came up, actually, I've, from talking to you, there's additional things that I've thought of. I think we started at 17, was it 17?
Retract.
And then I'm thinking of other things,
Well, just a minute.
so I will,
yeah, I think you can.
I'd sign on to 50, but if you, whatever.
I make a
council-
motion to amend the motion that paid the vouchers and salaries to
Many.
Manning's of zero payment instead of the 50%.
Second,
Gehring,
yes.
sorry,
Yes.
Schoenweld,
Yes.
Jaden,
Yes.
Elizabeth Weltner,
Yes.
Charlie Weltner.
yes,
Anything else, Mr. Gann?
Did I understand correctly that chipping will be next week sometime?
Yep,
Mhm.
Monday.
So
On which,
if you're on an affected street, please,
what are the affected streets, do we know?
We're still trying
please
to
park
figure out-
up.
Okay, right, we're still,
we're still,
That's one of them texts that.
To be announced.
Come in your phone.
depending on how much oil you get in your chip, or, because we had
We
the,
got half of what we know we're gonna do, and we gotta come up with the other.
There's a lot of people that don't get that, because when you texted out that the trash wasn't gonna be picked up Tuesday,
They have to request to be on it.
they
Yeah.
were all, she texted out, yeah.
Yeah, but they have to actually request
See, there's more
to be
people
on the
north that had
text.
their trash cans out.
mine was out, and it's a lot of work hauling it back in for a day.
Aw, jeez. It'd be a lot more work if I drove by with my pickup and gave it a good bounce.
Better than you wheeling across the street and coming back the other way.
Yeah, I've done that a few times, because I forgot. Thank you.
What I'm saying is they should sign up.
Yes.
Right, sign up. And also some people ended up being on a do not text or do not call list, so then we can't really override that. But if there is somebody, I have them call, my number's 925-4444, they can call
Well, I
and
can see,
I'll
I
go
can
in the
see
system.
not being on a do not call, but a do not text. I mean, if you don't want the text,
Right.
just
But
delete
there
it.
could be something glitch, so have them call me, I can look it up.
nothing right now.
Elizabeth?
Good.
Blaine, you're good? Blaine?
I believe I do have something.
In addition,
It's regarding the pickups. Scott's been after them, trying to get an arrival date or something, so this is what he got. Hello, Scott, both orders are still just sitting there. The F-150 responder has a better chance of going into production from what I've seen, but neither has moved yet. Both in danger of not getting built as a 22 model. So that raises a question then, are there more money? Do they honor their bid? Because they're not a 22 anymore anyhow, they'll be a 23 regardless.
When the county got theirs, they had to wait. It was a good year and a half.
Okay, so
I don't think it affected the bid.
it didn't, all right.
Shouldn't,
It'll affect our budgeting though.
but can't we roll that over? I mean,
Yeah.
it's-
We'll just have to do
Yeah,
a
I'll have
supplement
to
at
talk to
that
them
time.
about not spending it, that-
It'll go into general,
It
right?
could be another year. I mean, it's,
That's the
We
way.
don't know.
Yeah, that's the way it's sounding. Yeah, it's kind of, so anyway, I just wanted to report that. And I think all my other questions got answered about the bank. And I didn't hear about, the Great Western, no,
First Interstate.
First Interstate, I'm sorry. across the street if they wanted to do the same, or if it was like.
Yes,
if
they
it's
were
like-
actually in the office in
They
question.
did, okay, all right, so both sides, so then they should just get together and contact Cole and Paul and get it, all right? That's it?
Do we?
And you forgot to say our sewer pumps are in out at the lagoon,
Oh, hey,
And
and we lost the screen out there, so we're gonna try to do something different than the screen we had. We're on our third one. So we're working with Dakota Pump, and they're gonna try to do a whole different screen,
but the new pumps are in and working, huh?
all electric,
Okay,
very quiet.
good. Is that gonna help the unpleasant odor every now and then, or is that not
All
even?
depends on the people, what they put through there.
No. All right. I'll take that as a no. But I mean, the unpleasant odor is.
That's just the aeration that's
Okay, and that's,
breaking down, and
so that's something that's gonna need to be looked at, or?
just something that happens every year.
Is it?
That's natural.
Oh, okay.
anything else,
We
Darren?
get calls on it, state's been out again,
Everything's okay.
and just, yeah.
Okay.
Did you ever get them rocks in the berms? That's a project from 3 or 4 years ago.
We got something there last year, we never did get any.
We need to look at that again.
50% of them, yeah, 50% of them are back down in there.
I suppose it's too wet now, right?
It's way too wet.
Lisa?
No.
No?
Did the building come down without any issues?
The what?
The elevator? What's it called, the elevator?
Yeah, that seemed to go really smooth.
You're watching on Channel 90 right now, over and over.
It falls the same way
The
every
sound
time.
is, no, you won't, there's loud music with it. Channel 90's audio was out yesterday, but we have it back, so.
A lot of
Yeah, they
wood.
started around 10:30, kind of putting things together, and and it was about 2:30 when the main part of the building fell.
So how much are you gonna reimburse the city for feeding your cats?
How much are you gonna pay me for pest control?
Well, the siren went off when we were in a meeting here last night. Didn't take a long time. Solik calls me. Said he wouldn't be making the golf course meeting. He said he's at a structure fire. And I said, we wouldn't be that lucky it would be the elevator, would we? He says, sorry, no. So, I have nothing to go into executive session for.
90%
Well, I'm
is
sorry.
buried already.
It's gone, isn't it, pretty well? Just the
Full
fountain,
landfill buried with dirt.
concrete.
Like he's got 15 loads left. Did a very good job.
I'm glad it's down.
Well, it's still gonna look different when we finally get on that street, ain't it?
Isn't it?
Well, you know, it's on time and on budget.
I have no reason to go into executive session unless one of you do, unless one of the council members do. Otherwise, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Adjourn, I make the motion to adjourn.
Second.
Were you clear on that?
Favor aye,
Aye.
opposed, and stay.
You have lost control.
Stay.
You have lost control.
So,
That's a real bummer that they didn't just take the street down.
That they built it up.
It's kind of ridiculous, and